This is Brent of the Brookbush Institute. In this video, we're going to go over the cervical flexion and rotation test for cervicogenic headache. I'm going to have my friend Sonia come out. She's going to help me demonstrate. Now, what we're trying to figure out is Sonia's headache related to cervical dysfunction. This is pretty cool stuff. You guys should look up some of the research on cervicogenic headache. There's a good chance that physical therapy, athletic training, chiropractic could be a good resource for individuals who get certain types of headaches. Now, the way we're going to test to see if Sonia's headache is cervicogenic in nature is we're going to see if we can bring on her concordant signs, the signs that she came in complaining about, with a particular motion of her cervical spine, and that would be maximal flexion with maximal rotation. And what we're probably doing here, guys, is ligamentous lock of the cervical spine at the bottom, right? So we're tightening up all of these passive tissue structures so they can't move as much, and then rotating the upper cervical spine, mostly C1 on C2, to see if that increased afferentation from her upper cervical spine will bring on these cervicogenic headache symptoms, which if you guys get into the research on cervicogenic headaches, you'll start seeing that there's a lot about the upper cervical spine and this nucleus called the cervicotrigeminal nucleus that's up there that'll get afferentation from all of this. All right, but the test itself, very simple. Tests assess for symptoms in this position. If maximal flexion and rotation makes those symptoms worse or brings on symptoms, then you know that cervicogenic headache is a possibility. The last thing to consider is more of a correlation and is worth investigating, which would be, okay, she came in complaining about headache symptoms. When I did this test, it didn't bring on her symptoms, but her range of motion was severely limited. Right? In this case, we're considering it a positive test, but only because we know she has headache and cervical dysfunction, which I think being that physical therapy, athletic training, chiropractic is such conservative treatment, I think it is worth exploring that we do some treatment, some intervention on her neck and see if we can reduce her headache symptoms anyway, even though the test itself didn't bring on concordant signs. So there you guys have it. Maximal flexion, maximal rotation in both directions. Make sure you're assessing symptoms throughout. If you have any questions, leave them in the box below.